Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Broiler Chicken Show. Dun, 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 dun. It's time to get things started. It's time to put things right. It's time to figure out what the hell's gonna happen tonight. What? Oh, well, hey, welcome back to the frivolity, everybody. It is about 10:30 here on the wet coast on Sundays. I like to do these shows a couple hours before noon. And actually, the reason why I like to do these shows in particular is I was asked a while ago to try and help the universe out. I think I've done a pretty good job. Led quite a few people to, good best practices, all those kind of things. And one of the sort of features of the program that we put together to try and get people pointed in a good direction when it comes to risking your money in the marketplace is we have an education program that meets every Sunday mornings here at about 10 o'clock on the wet coast with the Wookiee. Griminator is our level 1 instructor, one of the most fantastic individual, great person, but really, really perfect instructor for you guys because he's chicken shit by nature and he doesn't take any wooden nickels. And so, but also too, he has has much more patience than I have. And so as a result, level 1ers, I think, are in great hands working with the Wookster. But I like to do this sort of public broadcast following the level 1 program on Sundays as a way to just sort of dovetail, show you guys out in the public what it is we're working on teaching our level 1ers. Also, too, if level 2 and level 3 people happen to have questions, this gives me an opportunity to publicly do a bit of a tutorial on any particular topic. And it does give me an opportunity to interact with the public. I don't really interact too much with the public. I have fun on my funny little Twitter page, just sort of barking at the universe. But I'm never really a very good person to interact with text messages and social media and stuff like that. It always gets interpreted incorrectly and broken telephone game, all that kind of stuff. So half the time the message is kind of broken. So this is actually a great opportunity once a week where I can just talk to you, right? We can just, verbally hash this stuff out. As well, of course, it's a great promotional platform for TRI. As you can see from our dashboard, we are moving headlong 100 miles an hour into the 21st century, and Sjord and his technology team in the back end of TRI have been working feverishly over the past couple of years to get this website up and running and functioning. We had a really big goal of January 1st to have us basically operational here. To all intents and purposes, I think Sjord's hit that objective. We are, what's now is just a lot of sort of makeup and getting all the tags and stuff correct. But I'm very pleased with the progress the team has showed here. A huge selling feature, of course, of our this whole website experience is Sjord has in essence tried to algorithmize the setups that actually we even teach in our level 1 program. And also too, over the years I've worked with a number of different students. And I like the idea of making students famous. It fills me with a great sense of pride to see people that to all intents and purposes really didn't understand how to trade, but they've gone through the program. They've learned this concept called the process. They've identified what are the tools and the indicators and the prognosticators that they like to use, and then they vetted them into particular criteria. Some that are, of course, more technically oriented. We can algorithmize those fairly quickly. And one in particular, one of our students years gone by, the idea of hunting W's and indicators and price simultaneously really resonated with him, and we've actually been able to algorithmize that setup. So This is actually the kind of stuff that we'll just spoon feed for free on our dashboard for like 30-day trial and basic site membership. And the goal here is that, site members just simply load up the dashboard and, on a daily basis, you get a nice little video blurb. And Seward's created like little widgets that spit out these buy and sell signals on a daily basis. But it's still coming along, as you can see. Seward just had a baby, so I got to give him a bit of slack there. But we're heading along 100 miles an hour. So obviously, in the public videos and stuff like that, I'll be wanting to talk more off of our website and the tools that we use to identify trade setups and stuff. What I will say, and it looks like they've got a little bit of programming code to work on up here. But what's supposed to happen today is we actually have a new school term coming up here. I don't know whether I have that page. Maybe I have to go over to the YouTube page and just see it, because it doesn't look like it's going to show here on the dashboard. Let's see. Where are we here? We'll go like that, and then I guess it's this page here. We over the past few weeks, we've been letting people know that we've got a new school term coming up here to learn the process, and I've been just telling people that I like the idea of just having a nice raffle, not really as promotion. I mean, frankly speaking, I'm not here to promote. You guys all know that. I think it's just a great way to give sort of karmic feedback. And interestingly enough, some of our raffle winners, like our very first raffle winner, David O, has actually gone on to be one hell of a trader. He's actually built out an educational model for those people that are really into advanced pattern recognition trading. And he's probably going to become like an integral part of our education program. And he was the guy who won the level 1 raffle program like years ago. So you never know what the hell comes out of this stuff. And actually Kevin was showing me the page. Kevin, are you screen sharing here? I was shocked. Don't spin the wheel, but let's see if we can just show the wheel. I couldn't believe this. Let's see if I can do this. Do I blow up the computer? Nope. Oh, no. I don't know how to do this now. Damn. Oh, so close. I know. There you are, bud. You're awesome. Love you, babe. Hugs and kisses. Remember, everybody, I'm not really professionally trained at doing these YouTube videos and stuff like this. We're just flying by the seat of our pants, so bear with me, please, everybody. But there's the actual wheel. I don't know whether I can show that on YouTube or not. I don't know whether, let's see if OBS picks that up. Yeah, there it is. Look at that, eh? Holy moly, a lot of you people signed up. That's crazy. So, brew-hoo-hoo, I know you were rooting to win. I'd say the odds they're a bit slim here. But, man, I was impressed. I couldn't believe how many of you signed up for this raffle. So fingers crossed for all of you. At the top of the broadcast, we'll pop on over to Kevin's wheel, and we'll spin that and see if we can change somebody's life for the better. Okay, let's see if I can get my head on straight here. Thank you, Kevin. You're so awesome. But I have a bad habit of messing that up. So as we go. Hey, there you go, brew-hoo-hoo. Yeah, we broke your cherry. Excellent. Good job. We'll do the raffle at the top of the show. And then once that's done, and as you can see, once we're done here, then this will just roll over into the regular sort of sign-up page. And David and Julian will stuff will work their magic with all that. And we'll go on with the regular promotion that the marketing team does. I'm not really actually even really not that big of a part of the marketing side of the site, because frankly speaking, I don't even really want to be part of that. But TRI's gotten so fucking big now. There's 3 of our principals, but geez, our education department alone, the staff there is probably about a half a dozen people. And our tech department building out this wonderful website and all the supports around it. Rocket Chat. Doesn't everybody just love Rocket Chat? That's a good half a dozen people. I mean, it's incredible how big this gets. So, in a weird sort of way, I suppose this is what was going to eventually end up happening with TRI. Is there are certain sort of expectations of sales and revenue and stuff, just to make sure everybody's mouths are full. If anything, but like I said, I don't even really want to be a part of any of that. I'm this funny, gnarly trader dude. The only motivation I have here, I got all the money I need myself. I don't need any more money. I mean, hell, Liam doesn't even need any money now. All of you good people were so sweet and donated to the Liam fund that I set up there years ago, and I haven't even touched it. I don't even go in and look at it. All I know is that you guys gave him a few Bitcoins, and so I'd say Liam's doing pretty good these days. The irony of it all is that once you actually learn this thing called the process, then it doesn't really matter what the hell's going on. I mean, hell, you guys all, I think Brewhoo there, was that on Doge? Is that where you got your double? I mean, that was so telegraphed. That was ridiculous. So if you understand the process, and then you understand guys like Musk coming in as sort of the ultimate Barnum and Bailey kind of guy, total promotion central, I mean, you had to almost expect that was going to happen, and boom! So if you just learn the process, identify what sort of the chalk marks are of a half-decent trade idea, and then just don't take too much risk, well, you just, away you go, and just do your thing. Yeah, so Brohu got a double off on Ethereum. Way to go, dude. And actually, that's a really good commentary in itself, too. Because I wonder how many people came in on the bull market of 2017. And remember, Wall Street, let's see, Brewhoo, do you know this? And I love picking on Brewhoo, but I was a little bit rude to you last public broadcast. Sorry about that, sir. It's been a little bit cheeky with you. Sometimes I'll like latch on to you guys, and I almost act like you're my personal friends and stuff. But I don't know you from Adam, so not the most professional of Brian. Sorry about that. But anyway, they typically say that Wall Street, any recommendation, remember I used to be a full service brokerage house and all that crap, right? They say, typical hold is 3 to 5 years. That's what you just tell your clients. Well, you invest and don't worry about it for the next 3 to 5 years, right? That's your time horizon. And gee whiz, anybody who bought Bitcoin, 15, 16, 17, 18,000 back in 2017, 3 to 5 years, you've actually just doubled your money. Way to go. So, there is a case for the hodler, eh? And the good part about it is, especially on something like Ethereum, if you're coming in at the bottom end of the range, God, how many times have you heard me say this? Just even 50% rules. That's actually what you should expect. So, I look at the Ethereum chart, and we're just getting up now into 61.8s, and I think it's like something like 4 or 5x off the bottom. So, oh well, crazy world. I will say a big part of me was kind of like, I'm not quite sure what the hell to even talk to you people about today. You all know my message. So anybody watching this video channel, video feed, you should be able to go, oh, I know exactly what this clown's going to say. He's going to say, don't chase. Don't get sucked into the emotion. He's such a party pooper. And every time I'm happy and the market's skyrocketing, he's all pissed off because he's worried about people getting their asses kicked. The weird thing is, a guy like me, when the market's Wing and it's breaking out on volume, how much of the public is interested? They're not interested at all. But we get into this kind of phase, and of course, everybody's going ape shit to the bull side. My simple word of warning to all of you is going to be, don't get sucked into the emotional context of this. And if you really want to make money from trading, then ironically enough, you should probably actually be selling into this rally and selling into strength, which is very, very difficult for the public to do. But, oh well, it is what it is. And remember, everybody, probably a great opportunity right now, where we just simply say, look, I'm not here to tell you what to buy or sell. I couldn't give a flying flute. Like I told you, I got lots of money. Live very comfortable lifestyle, paid all my taxes. I don't have any debts. I don't live a life of debt, so there's nothing overhanging me. What I like to do is I like to go into the market and make money from trading. I mean, that's what I like to do. It's fun. I love when I get those double fills and, I see my account balance going up. Woo, look at me. I'm so smart. Coming in and participating on something like Bitcoin right here, that's not that potion. If anything, that's the exact opposite. You're coming in on a frothy market that's already been bid up. Is it likely to further double from these levels? Well, it might, but statistical odds say no. In fact, I don't know whether I was mentioning it there a minute ago. But Kevin, one of our level 1 TAs, and just a fucking stand-up person, just love this guy. If I was gay, I'd definitely consider him in my wheelhouse. Unfortunately, you know what Brian is? I'll tell you what Brian is. Brian really wants to get to know Sharon. I don't know whether you know who Sharon is. But Brian would really like to get to know Sharon. So, you understand that joke. You understand that unfortunately, I'm straight as an arrow. But if I was gay, oh man, Kevin sure would be a kind of guy I'd go after. But yeah, right here, Sharon. So, and this is actually my attitude through all this, is I'm just trying to have fun through this. I don't want to get caught up in all the emotion of the nonsense that's going on in the market. There's no fucking way in hell I'm going to buy a Bitcoin here, right? I'm probably going to be selling, and I've even been sitting here going, I wonder if Liam should lighten up a little bit as we keep marching higher. But this is sort of my attitude, right? I like to have fun with life. And the cool part about it is, if you learn the process, you learn, appropriate risk management and the stress over, what the hell is Bitcoin going to do, cryptocurrency, right? That sort of, evaporates. Because it's just sort of like, well, we've seen this record before. It's not really anything new. But anyway, I did see, putting tweets out and stuff. There's a lot of sort of, the public is going ape shit here right now. Interestingly enough, if you pop into the TRI lounge, it's sort of like, well, home business as usual. And like I said, people are actually selling into these rallies, which is fantastic because that means you must be making money. Way to go! Pay yourself. Yeah, this is hard work. Do you guys remember when we were doing that video with Dab a couple years ago? And remember, what was that guy's name? Tone Vase was saying Bitcoin's got to go from $3,000 down to $1,000. I mean, oh boy, the space was just fucking suicidal. The cool part about it was there was a guy on our site, again, I keep referring and saying, I love this trade. I mean, he traded it like a boss. But he actually forced himself to step in on the long side there. Actually, a lot of TRIers did off of that original bottom, but just even this past spring, we dipped back down into 3,000 or 4,000 and he stepped up. And that's why we've got him as part of the level 1 education program, because he's doing it right. So way to go, Kevin. You rock star. I love living vicariously through these guys. I tell you, it's totally awesome. Okay, so, there's your preamble. I blabbed there for about 20 minutes, so if somebody wants to make a reference on the video, Brian's actually going to take a look at some price action here once we get to about the 20-minute mark of the video. So, once upon a time, in a land far, far away, you guys... no, actually, it's pretty close. All right. This is what I actually like to sort of frame my day-to-day sort of offerings to the public. What's sort of the big picture? Just quick overview. Still thinking we're at or near some sort of pivot on the U.S. dollar index. Fascinating, the political situation going down there in the United States of America. And from what I understand, the 6th of January is supposed to be a pretty important date. And there are still political wranglings going on from the right-wing part of the U.S. government. Well, not government, but right-wing part of the sort of populace. They're not done fighting the results of the last election yet. They haven't thrown in the towel just yet. So, sadly, I often conjectured with... especially when I first came in TradingView, I was still very much living in that sort of, prop trader, Chicago, Wall Street kind of world. Not really corrupted by you crypto kids yet. But we often made the joke in that sort of trader world that the last big sort of cycle apex, Jupiter, Saturn cross, by the way, was a greed cycle apex, and if anything, it makes perfect sense. You think about how life was at the end of the 18th century, following the U.S. Civil or Revolutionary War, I suppose, and the French Revolution and all that. Top of that century was pretty euphoric liberty and all that kind of stuff. And then the top of the 19th century, of course, was the height of the empires, also the Gilded Age in the United States. So, top of the 20th century, what a surprise. It was a pretty happy-go-lucky time. And then, and interesting enough, if you think about the 19th century, like 1820s, 1830s, that's when guys like... God, I always forget his name. Is it Andrew Jackson? Old Hickory. I always forget his name. So, any Americans on the call here today? Old Hickory. He went to war with the U.S. central bankers and the Federalists. Aaron Burr and all that. Remember the duos down in... actually, I think they even made like a music video out of it. So that was the 1820s, 1830s, I suppose 1720s, 1730s. Oh, God, I can't even remember back then. I know 1666. And actually, this is kind of interesting because the most recent Jupiter-Saturn cross here that just happened, the biggest one, or most sort of, relevant one in our modern-day history was 1623, I think it was. And it's interesting how the London Fire, which in essence brought the end of the age of the tally sticks, happened in 1666. Interesting. 666. I might argue that we're probably going to see some sort of burning down of the fiat currency system world through this next cycle. And I wouldn't be surprised, very much like after the London Fire, they basically had to recreate the financial system. And of course, the Bank of England was right there going, hey, we'll take over central bank, blah, blah, blah. And boom, the Rothschilds and all them. Actually, Rothschilds came on the scene later on. But in essence, it's the same banker class. They basically took over. I might argue, and actually there's a really cool video. I was sharing it out. Yeah, thanks, Carlos. What I'm really interested in is same degree of Jupiter-Saturn cross happened exactly one cycle before that event. And you guys see Jupiter-Saturn cross this cycle. The whole fucking world's gone to hell in a handbasket. The US dollar prior to this cycle was the dominant hegemony in the world. I got the funny feeling that this cycle is the death of the US dollar index and that hegemony, Bretton Woods kind of arrangement that we created. And I might argue that the end of the next fear cycle will ultimately be the burning down of the US hegemony system. I don't think it's going to happen this go round, but I think that this go round, actually, the bankers use this as the way to get out of the US dollar. And of course, they're going to saddle the public with all of that paper, and then, they'll make the paper worthless, and then, oh boy, well, that was fun. Do it all over again. As it stands right now, this is just my opinion, just talking out my ass. I like to use these cell phones and stuff as a good sort of proxy on how technology is doing. And actually, even Kevin and I were joking about this the other day. And technology isn't quite there. I can say it wasn't Kevin, it was Andrew. Andrew and I got together for a nice dinner the other night. We missed you, Shane. But anyway, and we were sitting there going, Jesus Christ, get a cell phone, or, like this camera, this Canon camera, beautiful camera. Spent like 3.5 hours trying to hook this camera up so that you guys could watch me on camera here while I do this video. Couldn't get the damn thing to work. So even though I know you techno gurus and stuff, you guys are totally hip with tech, I don't think it's quite there yet to do the job that you're thinking. It's almost, I would say, another generation, and it'll probably be there, but not quite. Right now, it feels like, kind of like anybody who's watching this video that's on the website, and when Sjord does his live demonstrations, he always starts every single one off with, ooh, live demos are always fun. Let's see if this thing even works. So that's the impression I still get about technology. Anyway, that's old man Beamish, whatever. It's my pure opinion. So I like the idea that the US dollar should pivot through this. I understand it's going to be really choppy here. And of course, right into the very end date, 20th of January, so I think theoretically when Mr. Biden should be inaugurated. All the media channels and stuff were all saying that regardless of what these U.S. senators and representatives in Congress and stuff do, it shouldn't really change anything with regard to the inauguration. But, you can't write stranger fiction than reality. Who knows what the hell's going to happen. I was interested listening. There was one gentleman, actually not gentleman, there was like a big, conference, video conference with a whole bunch of tech people that were pouring through the Georgia data of the election results, and they were like, something smells here. So, if they can gain traction with that argument and actually articulate their something smells about all this, then this shit ain't over yet, folks. Obviously, that's completely out of any of our hands, but it does make sense through the fear cycle apex, given what I saw happen there with that Georgia, and the fact that all these senators and stuff have come out and started to say that we are going to fight this right to the bitter end. It does make sense why the fucking corn went apeshit here just over the past few days. Now, is this sort of, I don't think Bitcoin is leading. I think Bitcoin is being dragged higher as a wonderful sort of proxy of fear through this cycle event. And of course, people classically would have gone and bought gold and stuff, but hey, the gold market's closed. And we got a big old 3-day weekend here. Let's really juice the fear up. So that's what I see happening here. Great, wonderful. Thanks, Brian. 150 cents to buy a cup of coffee. We've been watching as setups have been working their way higher, and as the market's been sort of climbing the wall of worry, each setup just keeps getting done. I suppose if you are a disciplined day trader kind of idea, the setups could have walked you up. Actually, that's basically what this was here. Heading into the weekend, And I was talking, and this is lower time frame, so really not really relevant for 90% of the audience. Probably just those lower time frame players. One low, two lows, three lows. Oh boy, are you a trader or is it your opinion? If you're a bot trader, you just got to take the goddamn setups and boom, up they go. Move stop to scratch, move stop to trailing, boom, hit the target. Now, what often happens with these bots, and I even remember we were like 31,000. Holy shit, that's crazy. But what often happens is the market will run up, hit this objective, and then, of course, it'll get really chaotic in the market. And what often happens, and this is pretty much what happened here, you can see, I guess I've taken all the levels off here, but this was a B, C, D. We did have some, I'd probably have to go back a past week or two. We did have some sort of objectives up in this area. Then the market settles down, and then we do it again. And that's kind of what I think's going on here right now. Is, taking this asset from, what is that, 25 all the way up to 35, $10,000? Well, that's going to take some push. And I think I put a sort of a tweet out sort of to the effect that usually what ends up happening is you'll get a big push, right? And everybody's like, ooh, ooh. And then you get a consolidation. And then if it is a trend, well, and the trend keeps working higher, then you get another push up. Usually, nothing's ever written in stone, but you can see, usually what ends up happening is after the move is done, you get like a big sort of triangle that forms. And actually, in our level 1 program, right, we teach that usually consolidations look something like a triangle. And, you might argue that really a bullish consolidation, if we were just looking, I know this chart's really messy, so just bear with me. If we're looking at this consolidation, then it's really just boom, 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 right? And you could actually argue there's probably triangles within triangles. That's just the way price action works. So, what a surprise. Big run up. Actually, I even put this sort of message out yesterday that you get the big run, and then you get the break, and it's like, okay, looks like we're establishing a new consolidation. This is actually a really good commentary. Some people are range or trend traders, think bot, and the market's working its way higher, 3 higher lows, get in there and get long, blah, 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 trend continuation. That's one particular approach to the market. There are other people that when they see this kind of wild volatility, they're looking for range. And often these ranges look like these triangles. So it was kind of interesting because I saw this thing break out last night, and I was like, this is going to be a really interesting conversation to have with these kids tomorrow. Because I wanted to just leave the triangle on here and just sort of see, okay, well, did we just keep mooning higher here? Or will we come back and work our way through this triangle to sort of lay the path going forward? I do find it interesting that, we broke out. The range traders were told, no, sorry, this is not a range here. Go zip up, and then all of a sudden, oh boy, what the hell is that? If you've never seen this before, I often tell people it's a really good analogy. It's a great way to keep you out of trouble. It doesn't mean that this is a great buy or a great sell. Doesn't have anything to do with sort of, fundamental valuations. But if you ever see Mr. Market smiling at you, it's probably a good idea just for you to cool your jets. Maybe just let this thing settle down. So that's kind of what I see going on right now. Just massive run up. And like we said, interestingly enough, and we talked through this video lots through the daily brief and stuff. This wasn't rocket science. It's actually fairly simple level. The issue here, the rocket science of this, is to try and manage yourself through this And actually, I was even talking in the lounge. Some guys that I used to trade with this, they actually don't like this move stop to trailing level. And they say, look, if we move 50% of this move, I'll move my stop to scratch. Then that way, we don't ever want to see a winning trade turn into a losing trade kind of thing. And then I'm just going to live with the results. Either I get stopped out at scratch, big fucking deal, so what? Or I get paid $3 for my effort. So I remember there was somebody in the lounge who was asking about that. I don't think they were really questioning that, but it is good information to know that some people use this move stop to trailing level. Some people don't. It's really just a question of your personal anxiety levels. Did the move stop to trailing signal trip up some people to get chicken shit and dump here? It might have. But I'm not actually overly surprised, especially when I saw the news about what these politicians down in the States are doing. Wasn't surprised to see that. That kind of bothers me. And actually, this is a very well-defined dam up there now. That's going to be tough to break. I mean, like this high. I thought this was funny. The trading jerks, they stopped it right on 3333333333333. It's almost funny when you see stuff like that. I do like this as a high, 34800. That's a nice big fat round number. They went up and took a real run at it. Probably if this thing is stillable, we're probably now going to have to watch for this trend line to be broken, because that trend line now has been confirmed. And I actually really like this nice little clothesline short signal. You can see that I posted this in the lounge this morning. On the dump, the end confirms to throw your order at the candle body level, and you can see the counter trend rally. Ding, 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 you're filled. And now it's just working its way. Does a, is a 30-minute chart. I don't expect any of you people on YouTube to be even thinking about this stuff. But it's an interesting anecdote of how the sort of lower time frame people would probably be looking at this right now. And you've heard me say repeatedly, I absolutely love candle body lows or trade location. Wicks and tails like to be eaten. If we got a nice little dip right down into those lows, right into that tail, to me that is totally cliche. So I don't know whether we dump down here. My hunch, we probably do the video here. Usually what I find is about an hour or so after I've done these videos, there's a bit of a counter trend rally move. Maybe that sort of position squares, getting ready for the coming week coming up. Could be. Somebody says, is 33 a Masonic number? It wouldn't surprise me. And I suppose that's Monty Burns right up there laughing at you, right? What do they call them? The stonecutters? We do. Oh, we do. How's it go? Who keeps a lid on the British pound? I can't remember the rest of the lines. Anyway. There's maybe there's Mr. Stonemason there staring in the face. Also, probably, too, just a really good example. You don't know what the fuck's going to go on here. I mean, you just don't know. Really good example of a range trader's life. We had a nice little empire that came in against test of this high. And, just after the empire sort of played itself out, couldn't find any selling traction. Boom. Nope. Screw you. We're not a bull. Bear. Well, here we are again. I mean, this is a pretty well-defined double top. Of course, we're up at nosebleed levels. What's interesting about this level too on like higher time frame charts is this image, because I would imagine there's probably a lot of people around the world, and actually I put a tweet out to this effect. How do you describe this? In a weird sort of way, and actually I did a chart like this. Do you guys remember IOC? I wonder if anybody watching this video even remembers IOC. IOC, I think that's what it was. Remember there was that crazy loudmouth guy from Miami? I want to go to Miami. I think it was IOC. What was the name of that guy? I can't even remember what his name was. I think it was IOC. I might be wrong. What was, doesn't ring a bell with anybody? Not a single response? Obviously that didn't Shane, you were in the space around that. What was that guy's name? I thought it was IOC. What the hell was that guy's name? Well, it won't be under the caught futures, that's for sure. I thought it was IOC. Oh, it's probably gone. Oh, where are you? I thought they made it through the call. Whoops, that's not alphabetical. Is it? P. We're under the I's. Whoops, let's go in the wrong direction. L, H, IOC. Yeah, there it is. Hey, it's still alive. So this was a great example. I did this when we first got on sort of the site, and we got on to, I think we were doing videos with a site called Coinigy. I think they're still around. And as we were sort of going through these phases, especially through here, keep in mind this is a weekly price chart. I think when we first did these kind of shows, we were like through here. And well, you should look at this chart and you go, oh, yeah, well, I guess that makes sense why that Beamish guy would be touting this kind of idea. I mean, it was textbook. But probably more importantly, I remember when we did these videos, I went, well, if you want to think about where this thing wants to go, all you got to do is just draw a trend line. Bang, bang. It's probably heading up here. And I remember when we did this and I showed people this chart, and they're like, there's no way we'll ever go up there. And look at that. Bang. And then stop. So what ends up happening here is that a lot of people pull up price charts, and a lot of people see this same line. And a lot of people draw this same line. So when we get up into here, you have to understand the dynamic of the market changes, right? Like we like to teach you this, well, I don't really have it formally in the education program, but I probably suppose I should. But great sort of tool to use to help you understand the context of bull and bear moves, this concept called chaos. Wow, what a surprise. So, in essence, the bullish resolution of this range here actually implies that the energy built up through this event will basically take itself right up into this level. But then once we get up into this level, then the energy that actually got this thing going is going to start to dissipate. And, it's a pretty good example because, probably most people in the public will look at this and go, there must have been some like bullish news or something that happened through this. All right? Fundamental development. Imagine that. And, you can imagine and this is a weekly price chart. So the week of this week, you can imagine how happy and excited people are. Oh my God, we're going to get fucking rich. Oh, it's such a bullish story. Breaking down trend lines, W's, maybe rising volume, momentum looks awesome, whatever, right? Then, the move gets going and woohoo, we're getting rich, look at us. But keep in mind, at some point, these people that did actually buy here, they're going to be kind of like, well, I got to ring the register. I got to sell halves on doubles, whatever. But that changes the story, right? Completely changes the story. So now, actually, the story is about sellers once we get up into here. And then, like I said, you hit this line here. And there's going to be a lot of people that drew this line in the past, and they're going to want to be sellers. Again, that changes the narrative. So in a weird sort of way, it's become sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. The energy that launched it off a year, well, that's dissipated. And then, of course, and they're taking profits. And a lot of people are like, I'm not selling until this trend line hits. Well, that changes the narrative again. So, really good analogy. So, if we go to today's story, good old Bitcoin, you look at that chart, you should look at this and go, okay, I think I understand what's going on here. Also, too, I find this interesting, and quite often a lot of these shitcoins, and even a lot of sort of junior stocks, they'll do this as well, that they'll pivot, they'll put a bottom in the market, and then when they rip up, they actually rip up about 10x, which is it's absolutely startling when you see that. And there it is, in glorious Technicolor. I always say, don't get into the habit of making predictions about where the hell the market's going to go, or, what's going to happen in the future. I can absolutely tell you nobody knew that this was going to happen. I definitely, you got to hand it to the guys that sort of stepped in and said, we're going to sell our houses and we're going all in on the corn. I mean, fucking A, way to go. I don't know whether that's really good money management, but that's the financial planner in me talking, right? I'm boring, stick in the mud. I'm always thinking about how bad can get. So we have very specific rules about how much risk I can take on any one single investment. So when people say, hey, I'm selling my house to buy Bitcoin, obviously that's not going to sit well with me. As I had said there at the beginning of the broadcast here today, I was damn impressed with TRI site members saying that they came in on the buy side down here. That's if I was going to teach a course on investing and teach a course on trading, that is what I would desperately like to try and teach you people. But the problem here, of course, is that were a lot of people bullish right here? No. Was that an easy trade? No, very difficult. I did a video with good old Dav there a while ago, and we did the video sort of right in this area here. I guess that was a couple years ago. And my suggestion to people, and it was sort of the same suggestion before, it never really changes, is if you are interested in an asset like this, then once we get back to reload zones, you can force yourself on a dollar cost averaging plan. Okay. You can wait for W's on bullish divergences in momentum. Okay. But the point is that this is where, location, location, location. What are the three reasons for us to justify taking a trade? What is the most important reason? The most important reason is location. And people who obeyed location reasoning, and this was ridiculous because this is what we call a reload zone within a reload zone. This is why I said, when I heard that people on TRI forced themselves to step up and participate here, I was just like, okay, my job's done. Actually, I can die now. I'm done. I finally got the message out, and hopefully these people can stick around the site. And I've got them in the education program, so they are teaching people. They're the instructors and the TAs and shit. So they get this message. I can die in peace now. Whew! Yay! Woohoo! I did my job, Jojo. I did it. And I will just continually extol people that do this, because these are the people right here. I'm specifically talking about one person in particular. I suppose I could introduce you to him, although he's kind of shy. Let's see if I can find him for you. I will say one thing, though. You better keep your nose clean around him, because he doesn't take any wooden nickels from anybody. Where the hell are you? You're around here somewhere. Oh, there you are, but where's your crown? That's not you. That was before you got crowned. There you are. So, if you don't think you can do this, well, this is the guy that stepped in there like a badass and forced himself to come in on the long side of the market here. Kavark. Actually, Kavark. Rocker. Hey, Rocker! Everybody give the Rocker salute. Woohoo! I love seeing Johnny Hoagland interact with you. There's not a better image in my eyes than seeing John Hoagland smile and do his little rocker salute. I love that. That makes me so happy. I have all the best intentions for don't. What the hell are you saying there? Don't! Eric says don't! I have no idea what he's saying don't to, but didn't do anything silly. I hope I didn't do anything silly. Also, too, this is a really cool analogy. This is another tool. And in a weird sort of way, I've been... how do I say this? This is gonna be sort of that life lesson kind of stuff. For the longest time, I never quite understood that whole chaos theory kind of idea and the mathematics behind it. I would hear people talk about chaos theory, but it was always sort of in one ear, out the other. And for some reason, the universe decided, Brian, 2020, you get to learn about chaos theory. And so, interestingly enough, remember, guys, I'm not that smart. So I know a lot of you guys kind of think I am smart. I'm not. I'm actually borderline retarded. No, that's terrible to say. Sorry. But the point here is that I sort of stumbled upon this 4.669 idea. Then I introduced it to the community. And then what was really interesting was you saw the community take the idea, and then they started to, all the different perspectives of all the very smart people that are around TRI, they actually started to apply things like fib levels to this funny mathematical ratio, do funny equations with the fib levels, and lo and behold, these numbers started jumping out. And the next one that jumped out on the screen, of course, never knew anything about this before, is 8.77. Turns out to be an important chaos level as well. And lo and behold, and this is exactly the same thing as that IOC that I just showed you. Oh, I know. Well, Eric, that's entirely up to the other side. I've said repeatedly, I'm here acting as an agent as long as you guys want me, and you need me. I'll keep doing this. Like I said, we don't get paid anything for these YouTube videos. I'm giving you guys courses away for basically for free. I'll just keep doing this stuff as long as the universe wants me, and as soon as the good Lord's ready, I'm more than happy to depart this universe. But, the problem is, Eric, when you have that kind of attitude, I'm probably not going anywhere for a very long time. Jerks! Well, it is what it is. So, anyway, back to our story. Remember we showed you that IOC chart? And I saw this come in here against this trend line, and I was just sort of thinking, okay, well, there's a hell of a lot of energy that was built up over the past couple of years. That energy is being expressed. I would imagine that a lot of people in the public have been looking at this trend line going, oh man, if it ever gets up there, I am so ringing the register. I might even argue that this little chaos study was actually just off of this particular consolidation. And interestingly enough, when you actually look at this entire picture, I actually think ultimately we're actually heading to somewhere up here. But the issue here is this is like gee whiz, what is that, week, maybe even a monthly price chart, analysis. And for whatever it's worth, whenever you see price act this way, this is what we call way too far, way too fast. And we're probably going to have to do something along these lines following whatever this orgy event is to set up our move ultimately here. And really, the irony of it all is I could probably almost tell you when that level's going to get hit, right? Just that IOC chart. Sure looks to me like those two levels probably intersect somewhere around here. Everybody's going, oh, boo! Ah, you bastard! Shut up! Get him off the air! But isn't that interesting? Can you see the symmetry to that, everybody? I can see it. Anyone? Kevin, can you see the symmetry of that? Am I hallucinating? Am I still connected? I don't know. It says that there's a couple people. Dave Edison. Hello, Dave. Brother of Thomas. He can ruin a wet dream. Yeah, I know. Sorry. It sucks. So I wouldn't be surprised if our path, and of course, it's always dangerous fucking getting into the business of predicting, but it probably looks something like, well, no, actually, it's not that drawn out. I hate to say it, but it probably follows something along these lines, right? So, kind of like, something like that. That wouldn't surprise me. Key here, though, I mean, hopefully, if anything, what I'd really love to hear all of you guys thinking is, this is just stunningly cliche. And if I'm just patient and I'm just disciplined, I should be able to make a fortune with this thing. That's what I'd love to hear all of you guys say. I don't know whether anybody sees that. I often tell people that, it's great that Bitcoin's right here, but I can't, even when it was here and here and here, I can't be a buyer here. I'm sorry, folks. What do I have to do? I remember there was specifically one gentleman, and I really liked him. He was a really, really nice guy. He worked in the tech industry here in Vancouver, and wow, all those millennials, wow, what a difference the world looks like. I remember when we went through this, I went over to Europe and I was looking around in like Germany and stuff. Fucking everybody was driving new cars. Everybody was drinking out in the public. Nobody gave a fuck about anything. It was peaches and cream. And I was looking around going, this can't last. Something's got to change here. This is wrong. But I remember specifically one gentleman in particular worked here in Vancouver. I have no idea if any of those companies are even still in business or not. They're probably all home workers now. But through all of this, and totally straight face, completely straight face, he looked at me and he said, Brian, Bitcoin will never come down again. Never. This is it. Thank you so much for, basically preventing me from buying in here. I've missed the boat. You should expect a call from my lawyer. I'm going to sue you into the ground. No, he never said that. Because remember, I always say this is edutainment, not financial advice. What you do with your money's your business. I don't give a fuck. So it's awfully tough when you stand in front of a judge demanding your money back when there wasn't a shill to begin with. But anyway, that's here nor there. Point being that I had to look at the chart when we were doing this, and ironically enough, I've been at this for 30 years, so this market here was just like yesterday for me. But I had to look at him perfectly straight face and say, I cannot endorse buying this. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to. I have a professional reputation I have to defend. If you do want to buy this, and it's the exact same conversation now. And let's say we were right here, right? If I wanted to buy it, I'm going to draw my reload zones. And what I have to do is I have to be damn patient and disciplined, which sucks horsecocks. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Never said this making money from trading shit was easy. You have to draw your reload zones. Then you have to wait for the euphoria to die out. Then once we get back into reload zones, you can start getting back to work. But when we're going through this, you gotta just leave it alone. Sucks. Like I said earlier, thankfully, through this period and through this period, we were active on the buy side. And, like I said, I got people at TRI that I will continually reference that had the patience and discipline and professionalism that when the market came down into their reload zones, they stepped up and they bought where they were supposed to. And the proof of the pudding's in the eating. Kevin, I would like for you to come on and officially tell these people, how are you feeling about this purchase that you did down here? Would you do that for me? Is he there? Oh, no. He probably went to the bathroom. Hey, there he is.
No, I thought I was on mute talking.
Okay. Killer trader. Can't figure out this damn YouTube shit. Just kidding. I mean, how you feeling about this? Did that make you feel pretty good stepping in there?
Yeah, now? Yeah, hell yeah, now.
Okay, so the point here is I'm not lying to you people. This is fact, right? If you want to try and learn how to come in and do this where you're supposed to do it, it's not an easy trade. It's not a comfortable trade. It's a fucking difficult trade. But this is the end result of being a very good trader. Coming in here, oh, goodness, people. It sucks. It sucks horsecocks because just like I said to you a moment ago, I don't know where the hell the top is. And these people, this is a once in a 40-year event. What do you think? Once in 40-year event? Are you guys going to be slightly affected by this? Hey, there's my Raff buddy. Oh, Raff, you are so awesome. Oh, Jesus, what the hell is he saying here? Looks like Raff is coming out with some stuff for the lounge to ponder about Satoshi. But Raff was the guy I made reference to. And if you want to get to know Raff, the cool part about it is he's on our little video page that I send you guys to. I don't know what the hell I did with that page. I'm so bad at all these web pages. Focus, Brian. Focus. Don't lose it. I'm feeling a little glimpsed. No. I don't know what I did with that page. That's weird. Oh, yeah, this is it here. You want to get to know Raff? And actually, I think he's like working on like a hedge fund now. I mean, the guy's like super smarty pants. But oh, yeah, fancy music.
Yeah, for me, it's really
just
from a human perspective.
There he is. There's Raff right there. Bobo. So these two dudes right here. Remember, I was making reference to Faugenbaum earlier. Those two dudes were kind of like, well, Brian, what happens if you use some of the other Fibonacci levels in this equation? Do those levels, are they important? Boom. 1 + 1 = 3. There's no way in hell I would have ever been given that information. Couldn't have paid for it. Nobody was teaching this. Try going out on the fucking internet and try and find somebody who teaches you about chaos theory. It's impossible. The only way that happened was because I give without reservation. And then these people, just like all of you, what I would hope out of all of this is they happen to return the favor with some extra information that helps my understanding of the market. And that's the way that sort of 1 + 1 = 3 goes. And the worst part about this, my lesson to each and every one of you, the worst part about that is you have to give without reservation. If you give with reservation, like you're expecting something in return, it doesn't work. So that 50 years on this planet, that is one thing I've absolutely learned. Yeah. And probably has nothing to do with the planet. It's probably more to do with the universe. So, can I buy here? No. The interesting thing is if I did actually buy down here, notice, let's say I got an average cost of, I don't know, let's say 4,500, I don't know, 4,600, whatever, somewhere down here. Oh, hey, let's say I actually had the plan that I was going to buy 88.6 is 4,200. All right, well, great, way to go. hopefully what you see here, and I do this all the time in the stock market. It's no different. And I used to do this. In fact, somebody came on the site today and said, Brian, where's all your fucking banging out doubles in altcoin land and shit, man? I came on 2017. It was like every day you were doing this. And I actually told him, I said, I'm actually trading more the stock market these days and the warrants market. Don't get me started on warrants. I mean, they're so much fun. I haven't been that active in the altcoin space, but, Doge just gave you an example of this. It's not like it's really specific to the asset. It's really more just a function of trading. But, let's say you came in at 4.5, whatever. So at, what is that? So at 9,000, bang, out goes half. Merry Christmas. You got your free position established in that window. From this point on, you're made in the shade. Who gives a fuck? It's free. But, I'm going to follow my plan. All right, bang, 18,000, out goes another half. And gee whiz, and I did see some kids were posting. I don't know whether we got up here, but I did see some people saying that they were actually posting another double up in here. So ironically, all this is one double, two doubles, three doubles. Have we done this anywhere else? I do this shit all the time. In fact, actually, Kevin got off a warrant trade where it did like this third double in one day, and he missed his trade up here. So, ironically enough, you look at that chart, and there's not really actually a lot new going on here. There's nothing special. There's nothing out of the ordinary. This is just price action. The problem is, you guys are asking me, well, Brian, can I come in and buy up here? And the message is the same as the last week and probably the week before. If I did want to be a buyer, I have to draw my reload zone tool. I don't know where the hell the top is, but I can't chase, don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. And you'll notice that when I draw my reload zone tool just off of this range, do you want to go off of the original bottom? You can. But it basically paints a reload zone starting now from about 9,900 up to about 15 Gs. And let's see if anybody can read my mind. Where am I going? What's the next thing I'm going to say? Knowing that the reload zone just happens to be in this area here. Starts with a W, 2 words. Second word is a C. Anyone? How about you YouTubers? 2 words. First word starts with a W. Second word starts with a C. Would be cool. Oh, close. That's our first stop, Rocker. So that's good. And really, that's kind of like trader talk. But I'm just trying to keep it really, really simple for these people, Rocker. Excellent. Zoink. Got it. And Kevin got it. All right. So what I'm thinking here, and again, remember that image I showed you earlier? What a surprise. Not much difference. We're probably going to, wherever all high is, come down. Check that breakout. What do you think the odds are? There's a few open orders to buy sitting right down in this area. I'd say probably pretty good. Huh? Can you see it? Remember, this is exactly the same thing as here. No difference. Rinse and repeat. So, I don't know what the hell this looks like. Is this the top? It might be. It might not. As I said, they really want to get fucking apeshit. There's still another chaos level up top, but just look at the proportion here, right? It looks very similar. So I don't know where the hell top is. And really, the way that I would be approaching this is if I force myself to come in and dollar cost average once we hit reload zones. And I've just been averaging. I should be just, spoon feeding the public coins as we head up. And, like I said, first trade is right here. Establish a risk-free position. Second trade here, you get yourself a 200% return on your money, plus you still got your free coins. That's on the break of the highs. And now here, you're getting your third double off, and this is just gravy. And I guess, you know what really bothers me about this? I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. How do you think the public's feeling right now? You think they're feeling a bit frustrated? I mean, honestly. I mean, let's just, you know, call a spade a spade. Do you think that their attention is focused in any one particular direction or one particular avenue? You think that the media and the politicians are not helping the public with this 3-day holiday weekend, jacking everything up, get that anxiety nice and frothy? Do you think that, you know, places like Goldman Sachs might be helping this situation along? And, you know, I guess the worst part about this that resonates with me is I don't see any really good economic thinking going on here right now. Probably going to get into a lot of trouble with people that are not traders when I make sort of comments like this, because they're probably thinking it's like racial and I'm being a jerk and stuff like this. But this is really more an economic commentary. That when I see this kind of activity, this to me, you know, these guys, they got their stimulus checks. They're sitting there. They got their TV on. They got their cell phone with all their various social media channels going. They got their laptops. They've got their PCs, but they have to stay indoors and they're not allowed to sort of interact with people physically. Man, the fucking authorities are coming down like a ton of bricks on people in like UK and even here in Canada, being even the most remotely social. Bang! Fines. Bang! Jail time. Bang! So Big Brother's coming down hard. So these people are feeling incredibly frustrated, and all of a sudden they just got handed a big pile of money from Uncle Sam. I suppose in Canada it's called CERB. You know, I hate to say it, but I think a lot of those people, you know, it's very easy to actually go and buy this shit online now. Hell, fucking these cryptocurrencies exchanges are accepting credit cards, for Christ's sake. You know, we used to actually, when I was a broker, you could not settle up debts in the stock market because keep in mind, every brokerage house has a cage, right? And people would come deposit their money into the cage to settle up their transactions. You couldn't do that with a credit card. It was illegal to settle stock account debits with credit cards. Illegal. Why on earth would it be okay for this to happen in crypto? Oh, I know why. Because it's an unregulated marketplace. And we want to regulate it. So let's get a whole bunch of people to go and buy a whole bunch of cryptocurrencies on credit with their stimulus money that they were supposed to be paying their rent and buying food and shit with. Let's break price. Get them all to FOMO in up at the top. Break price. So not only did they lose money on their cryptocurrency investment, because, wow, what a great investment idea it was. But now they've got a big fucking whack of credit card debt to go along with it. Oh my God, what a potion for disaster. Who comes up with economic policy for our society? I don't get it. It's like, honestly, from one guy to another, what I see in our society is there are constantly traps being laid for all of us. Constantly. 24/7, right? Hey, call up this chat line. We'll have 100 women sitting all ready to talk to you and get you off. Call up. Hey, is there any women on the line? No, these are all men. Oh, shitty. Oh, well, guess I lost my money. I mean, it's the whole fun. Like, our whole society is built to fuck you over. And I find it really disappointing that it's so pronounced in this cryptocurrency space. Be careful with your hard-earned money, people. It's your hard-earned money. I mean, I can't tell you how many people I had to sit there and just go, yeah, I know. Well, you shouldn't have bought when it was zipping up like this. yeah, you're just going to have to wait, 3 to 5 year time horizon. Oh, look, hey, there's a W. Okay, well, now we're back into a place where we can actually start buying. And, thankfully, I actually had somebody on the site this morning. Yeah, thank you, Rocker. Man, words to live by, dude. I had somebody on this morning go, well, Brian, I finally got released. I had patience and discipline, and I bought my Bitcoin here, and I finally sold half on a double. If anything, that's great job. That's not getting sucked into the system. That's expressing patience and discipline. That's not, acting emotionally. That's being a shrewd, prudent investor. Was that you, Lou? If it was, congratulations. So, as I had said earlier to start this video today, I don't know what the fuck to talk to you guys. He's off the couch. Right on. Yeah. Our analogy, because I used to have a lot of stock customers that would do this, right? They would take like their summer vacation money or their tax refund that they got in like May, June, and they would go and, gamble it on some fucking penny stock. And of course the idea wouldn't work. And oh my God, sometimes I would sit at those meetings with the husband and wife, and you could just feel the tension. Yeah, he did this, and he's not allowed to do it again. He's in the doghouse, and he's not getting out until he fixes the problem. Oh goodness, crazy world. Yeah, and the worst part about that is that that's the lesson that you only learn in real time, right? I can sit here and I can jump up and down. I can pull my hair out and go, don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. But half of the time, the only way you're going to learn this is you got to go through the process of being a bag holder. So, anyway. There's my rant about Bitcoin. Did you guys get any value out of this? All you 24 people here sitting in the hangout. Anything? Anything of any value? Like I said, I don't know what I was going to talk to you guys about here today. Not a single reply. So obviously half of them said I've gone to sleep. Oh, there you are. Oh, okay, cool. Fabian Mueller. Hey, there's a cool name. Hey, there's Andre. Andre's going to own half the bloody world. Yeah, this Lika guy, you want me to look at BSV. Now, let me ask you a question. Lika? Do you know Craig Wright? Lika? I would have a very, very hard time investing in that gentleman. What usually ends up happening in the stock market is it's kind of like it's a confidence game. Half of the reason why guys invest, right? They go to like the board meetings and stuff like that. They hear the pitch from the CEO and they're kind of like, yeah, I like this story. Makes sense. I'll join in. Right, rational investing, right? Got to have a half decent fundamental story. So that's the problem that I have with BSV. Is he's not well received in the community, and he's made some incredibly outlandish statements in the past, which is probably one of his sort of major undoings. Yeah, I mean, you want a guy who knows how to play the game. Follow that Charlie. Charlie Lee's a fucking genius. I wouldn't even be surprised at the end of this we find out that Charlie was Satoshi all along, but that's here and there. I still think, it's interesting. If you go and look at the very few first conferences of Bitcoin and stuff, Charlie's always at them. He's always there. So, I don't know. And actually, maybe that's a good dovetail. Why don't we head on over and look at the sort of intermediates now. That's a good question. I don't know, Palin. Palin asks, are web wallets safe? Mu or blockchain.com? I don't know. I'm not really the best person for the security. I suppose there's all that. I mean, didn't one of those Russian cryptocurrency exchanges just blow up here? So maybe. maybe not. When you're in this space, it's total wild, wild west, right? So, caveat emptor. And then, of course, for our American brethren, your government might come out and say, well, sorry, you're not allowed to actually own cryptocurrencies unless we actually can get a hold of them. All right, so let's take a look at, we looked at the corn, gave you my commentary there. I thought this was a really interesting chart too. This is Ethereum. Same logic. Try not to chase. Maybe you traded bullish consolidations through here. Okay, I mean, there might have been a bot or something along those lines. But especially when you see price go parabolic, which it's doing right now, you just have to somehow have the patience and discipline just to leave it alone. Which, I had somebody the other day, I'll head back over to Bitcoin for a moment. I had somebody the other day say to me, well, Brian, can't you at least just tell people it's okay to dollar cost average? And at these prices, no. I don't even like dollar cost averaging at these prices. You wait for the reload zones, then you can start dollar cost averaging. So somebody had asked recently, well, is it okay to dollar cost average in here? And I don't even really like that strategy, to be honest with you. It's just too late to be a buyer here, in my opinion. But it's just my opinion. So fucking what? It doesn't mean anything. You do with your money as you please. I'm going to do with my money as I please. So back to Ethereum. Sort of same thing. Don't chase. You want to start buying. Wait for reload zones. And I think I've told you guys this before. This happens so often with me. And this is sort of a hint. I'm not going to specifically say it, but I want you to think. So this asset went substantially beyond even the reload zone, right? This 78.6 I like to call the line in the sand. And what I often find happens is the market will go zipping down here in a big panic, and then eventually it'll settle down, and you look back over time and you go, son of a bitch, those guys, all they did was they just put in a big honkin' W right off the line in the sand. I mean, can you see how cliche that is? I mean, learn from this, people. Really, try and learn from this. And while this is a comment about Ethereum in itself, and remember, Ethereum was quite a bit delayed compared to things like Bitcoin getting finally going here. I remember when Dav and I did our little video there a couple years ago, we were talking about Ethereum here. And we both said, guaranteed Ethereum's going back up here. Guaranteed. It's just a question of when. And lo and behold, here we are. What a surprise! But I said there a few minutes ago, or maybe a minute or two ago, there's also another message in this image. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You guys keep asking me, what about this? What about this? What about this? What I want you to do is I want you to play connect the dots. What can I take away from this image that maybe other assets are still sitting down in like here right now? Think about that. With regard to Ethereum itself, quite often, sort of the same logic, when can I start buying? You can see how markets like to slam into 61.8, and then sometimes they just have the most violent reactions right off of that. It doesn't necessarily mean that the bottom is in, that this is the bottom, all that kind of stuff. What it does mean, though, is when you're studying this range, and this is why I call this a reload zone, because statistically, this is, we're less than 50% of the range, so this is where a lot of smart money, algorithms, 1%, they actually start getting interested in buying. And that's what we want to know. That's what the purpose of the reload zone is. It's to try and visually show you where institutional people might actually get interested. So, this is an old pit trader that I used to work with. His name was Brandon Rigo. I have no idea where he is in the world. That's, geez, it was like 10 years ago now. And his pit name, affectionately, was Mountain Man. So I often put this little M right on the screen off of 61.8s. Because the guy would just trade this level religiously. It was not even a question of if 61.8 was tagged, Mountain's buying or selling. So it doesn't surprise me that, gee whiz, here we are. We're basically flirting right at Mountain Man level. And it looks like we got probably a little bit of profit taking, a little bit of, maybe even Mountains stepping in and just probing on the short side. Considering the day, it is the weekend. We've got an incredibly contentious situation developing down in the United States of America that probably hit some sort of apex on Wednesday the 6th. Also, too, what a coincidence. Late on Thursday, I think it was Thursday, this sitting executive branch member took a big shit on 3 of the biggest Chinese telcos listed on the New York Stock Exchange to the tune, I think, of about $140 billion. You guys just saw what happened when Trex announced that they were going to delist Dash. How did that go for Dash? So these 3 massive Chinese telecoms are basically delisted as of Thursday. Could we see the entire stock market gap lower Monday morning in reaction to that? It wouldn't surprise me. It's going to be curious to see how cryptos rally. Is it a growth proxy? Is it a fear proxy? Exactly how the hell is this thing being perceived in the marketplace right now? I don't know. Normally on a day-to-day basis, I like the idea that crypto's basically another risk asset. If you want to take a risk in the marketplace, something you'd go buy. So typically we would do something like this. But I wouldn't be surprised if stocks actually come off here a bit and the corn and the gold and shit pop higher here on basically all hell breaking loose in the United States of America over this next week. Which is so sad. You wonder whether there's some sort of celestial event or something that frames this. I suppose there is. And this also, too, is an interesting sort of commentary on that Saturn-Pluto cross, because it happened in January of last year. So we must be coming around for a second go at that. That's pretty close. That's having some influence in here. I'm sure that, if I understand correctly, I think Mars is actually really close to us right now, which is a bit odd. So there's all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so the point here is I don't know how crypto is going to be perceived here tomorrow morning. But get ready. Tomorrow morning in the stock market is going to be just a fucking mess. Same conversation as before. Nothing changes here. If I did want to be, there's Mountain sitting, I guess, at about $911. So here we are, $927. Lots of fuckery in here. For me to call a top, right, I'd actually have to see one high, 2 highs, 3 highs, failure. 1 high, 2 high, big M, see you later. So, just the fact that we just made a new high here today, that's not enough to call a top. And I suppose now we have to drag this up to whatever the highest high here is. And you can see that based on reload zones, if I was... so this was assuming this level here, if Mountain Man was our top or whatever the hell this is. But also, too, for illustration purposes, because I think this helps you see this and understand this. Notice that if we do top here, there's a reload zone. If we... No, Brian, we're not going to top here. We're actually going to top 50% higher. Okay. Notice the reload zone doesn't actually change a hell of a lot. All right, you can see that. This is assuming that we go up and tag Foggy here. And we might. I'm not calling a top, not calling a bottom, whatever. What I'm just simply saying is, when the euphoria is done and we go back to this kind of environment and people calm down and you can actually start thinking about investing in these assets again. The reload zone, ironically enough, from this range, and this range are all basically in and around this like $400 or $500 area. And then, remember I had said there a minute ago, Wyckoff checks. You know, if we top out here, maybe we do something like, I don't know, something like that. We could probably come down, and that would be a classic Wyckoff check. And then there's your next bull signal way over here. And that might be like out into next year. I could see that. That wouldn't surprise me. So, and also too, this is another good example, right? If you'd stepped in and bought reload zones, so that's $100, $200. Well, obviously $300, out goes half. Then at $600, out goes half. And you got your open orders sitting to sell another half up here at 12. I didn't really do this. Somebody had asked me, like, are you doing too much in crypto and alt? I didn't really do too much in this, but as an example in the stock market, and my hunch is these companies are all going to go fucking apeshit. I did more sort of stock market crypto proxies this go round. So this is one that I've had. Obviously, he's going to be a little bit stronger Monday morning with the way Bitcoin's acting. But this is what I did. My choice, my sort of preference this cycle was to play it through the stock market. So this is the way that I've played the crypto bull. And my hunch is these stocks are going to probably launch themselves higher tomorrow. And you can see I've got my next sell have on double orders, blah, 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 working away. And I'll just keep playing crypto through the stock market this go round. That's primarily my focus here. Having said that, just keep in mind, anybody who's interested in TRI, Julian is actually, I think he's up like 100 to 150,000, something like that, on his Ethereum trading through 2020. So he forced himself to come in. He took about 20, 30,000 that we had just lying around on one of our sort of side accounts. And he clipped like a good 130, 140,000 out of the market, and he put the original 30,000 back in TRI's bank, and he's just playing with the market's money right now. That's not a bad life. Way to go, Julian. And then also, too, we've got Sjord. He's done his dollar cost averaging program. Where's the long-term Bitcoin chart? Here. And as I had said, in the reload zone, I was more than comfortable for us to be dollar cost averaging. Once I think he broke 10 or 11,000, we've put the dollar cost averaging plan on hold, and we'll just wait for the next reload zone and initiate it again. Because keep in mind, we want to be invested in this story, but there's no way in hell I can endorse buying Bitcoins when the chart looks like that. Sorry, just it is what it is. So you can kind of see that we're moving down the food chain here, right? First the big boy goes, then sort of second tier. I guess it really shouldn't surprise us that things like Charlie's starting to get pretty active here. Where's Charlie? There he is. Badass Charlie. So same logic. There's no difference here. Coming down, you could even, this doesn't even go that far back, but I definitely know Charlie's got tons of trading history here. That could have been very easily reload zones. Here's a reload zone within a reload zone. Interesting how Charlie one day did this big fuck you candle. That surprised me. I'm actually surprised Charlie even let that happen, but nonetheless, it did. There it is, and because of that, my hunch is at some point down the road, this will probably have to be addressed, but not today. Right now, I don't know whether this low is for real. This might just be stamp. It might not even exist on other exchanges. We did actually trade through that low. Yeah, it's a little disappointing. You could argue that's a very typical sort of crypto if you don't move. We see that a lot in this space. Jerks. I like the idea of this bottom here. Actually, and I apologize, this chart's just an absolute mess. Looks like actually we did dump down into here, so that wasn't terrible. But down, up, down, breakout through here. And of course, dollar cost averagers, I would have no problem if you were just accumulating. The interesting thing about Charlie, and this always really stumped me, was they always said that Charlie's cost of production was sitting at about $90, $100 or so for the longest time. So this is a really good example where there were some people that were actually in the business of mining Litecoin and they were underwater forever. You might as well just go buy your coins in the marketplace versus running the mining machines. But lo and behold, they're back profitable again. So even Litecoin miners are feeling pretty good here today. And with the breakout through this high, like I said, I don't like the fact that there's that tail there. Maybe we have some backfilling here to do. I don't know. But you could argue that on a higher time frame basis, oh boy, sure looks like a big W's coming in. And that means we could probably do fog and bomb levels all the way up top. And if I remember correctly, like I did tweets and stuff out about Charlie. I think there's actually like 2 or 3 different trades going on here. Where is that? Charlie! Well, man, looks like these guys are starting to turn. Ooh, hello. Look at that. Alright, off topic. Shiny object. Where is Charlie? Charlie. Poor old Charlie. Man, library credits. The goddamn kids at TRI. I mean, you want to come and fucking make money from trading. These goddamn kids. They came in here, they bought here, and they were already banging out doubles here just on this move here and totally left me in the dust, you bastards. So what a great, like, this is a really good example. You want to get rich from fucking trading cryptocurrencies. You can buy, sell half on a double, reload, sell half on a double, reload, sell half on a double, reload, sell half on a double. How many goddamn cars are you going to get on here? Like, that's the way you get stinking rich from fucking trading. This CVC, I don't see anybody in the public talking about this one anymore. And look at he's come back down here. Look at that. Right, here we are. Right back down against the bottom again. Also, too, great analogy. You better sell when these damn things rally. So I might even seriously consider going and just buying that position right back. And it's also got a Charlie tail, too. I think I did like a big old tweet rant about typical FU moves in cryptocurrency. Well, there's one. And notice, do a reload zone off of that. Notice they brought it right back down into that tail reload zone and then woohoo! So here we are. What do you think the odds are? If you drew a fib off of that high back down to that low, are we in a reload zone? Hey, look at this QRL. Somebody was mentioning about library or those on web wallets or whatever. These guys theoretically are supposed to be able to hack those. This I think that's that quantum resistant shit. So look at the W he's trying to form. Anyway, I made reference to this. I'm not going to completely spell it out, but I did make reference to this about 5-10 minutes ago when I was talking about a different asset. I mean, understand the context of market state. What's going on here? Is this actually pretty cliche? Is this pretty normal? What are the levels that I can use to validate, well, I'll give you the hint. Lines in the sand. All right, so here's Charlie. And actually, this is a really fun one that I did about 6 months ago or so. In that, I have a lot of people, and I really hate this about the web and about social media and stuff like this. For some reason, people are, they're insistent that there is only one way to trade, right? The right way, and that's just it. If you don't do it anything else, then of course you're an idiot. But then managing money doesn't work that way. Half of your job, ironically enough, is actually to I am really FOMO. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, Dumbbell. Just maybe change your name. let's change your name to Smart Bell. How's that? Then maybe we'll get you out of that FOMO kind of thinking. Hey, Brian, as a veteran, can you give an idea on your returns trading stocks for the last 5 years, excluding crypto? Well, in the past 5 years, 5 years ago, I was hip deep in crypto. I wasn't doing anything in the stock market. So I didn't really get my stock portfolio up and running in earnest until, I guess, about the middle of last year. And right now, I mean, I can show you if you want to PM me. I can show you the statements from my brokerage account. But I'm up about 150%. But that's kind of stupid. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is these kind of images. This is not normal investing. You know, when was the last time you ever heard governments just handing out free money to people? This is the kind of environment where guys sitting on bar stools go, hey man, anybody can make money picking stocks. This is easy. So if anything, what I'm really trying to do here, DJ 2000, is I'm actually trying to get the hell out, sell as much as I can. I think I've got about $10,000 of original capital risk still in the market, and I'm sitting on right now about I guess about 30 or 40,000 in profits, and you know, if the whole fucking thing falls apart, this demo account that I am showing how to trade a registered account on the site. If the whole market falls apart, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of that has to be given back. But we got lots and lots of cushion, so I'm not really concerned whatsoever about actually going negative. It's just the question is, you know, when we pull back here, how much is actually given back? All right, so just to finish this thought, you know, there are many different market participants, and really half of your job and half of our education program is just to simply try and figure out which market participant you are and then help you build your plan around that expectation. Some people are, you know what, just buy and hold. Well, DJ, very simple rule. If you can achieve 30% annualized returns over a 5-year period, you have beaten, that's compounded, that's you have beaten 90% of all investors ever. So, you know, my silly example of taking $100 and turning it into hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's not normal. That's idiocy. Because Brian happens to have this funny little gift where I know how to manage my behavior and I know how to remove my emotion from trading. And really all I do is I just act like a robot in the market and I'm just managing money. As soon as an asset doubles in price, out goes half, yada, yada, yada. That's not normal. Most normal people don't do that. So, you know, it's totally awesome part of TRI. You know, we get you to the point where you can actually realistically go, you know what, this actually, it isn't unachievable. One local guy here, he's in his early 20s. I had the privilege of getting to know him in 2017. And if he had not learned with me, he still interacts with all of the people that he knew before knowing me, and he keeps saying to me, Brian, these people, I just can't get through to them. They're happy with like a 7% return on a stock trade, and it's like, what a fucking waste of time. I mean, if I can't realistically double my money, I'm not even really that interested. But again, Brian's a weirdo. Oh, goodness. Okay, so back to our Charlie story. I think that there are many different market participants, the little slick traders, because you didn't know what was going to happen here. If anything, this is a great analogy. I told you a couple weeks ago, volume speaks volumes. So this volume here told you that, hey, this thing wants to go higher. But I think there are, three very distinct traders that work here. I think there was one trader that was just simply a range trader. These guys might take a little bit higher leverage trade, that kind of stuff. Then you have sort of like your Joe Six-Pack kind of guy who'd be like a stock trader with me, have an account. They usually put like a wackadoe into a name and they'll risk 50%. Hey, if it falls by 50%, then fine, just get me out, right? So that's this guy, and he's about 2/3 of his way to his profit objective. Way to go. Patience and discipline. And then, of course, you got your moon boys. And there's nothing wrong with being a moon boy. It's just, you have to just say from the get-go, look, I'm a moon boy. I'm not selling until we actually, have hit some serious returns. And I can, seriously consider going and buy Lambos and shit with my profits. But the key here is you have to identify who you are, what the trade is, what your expectations are, and then just stick with the story. And just don't change anything. All right, so if moon boys are sitting there going, I'm a moon boy, 589.95 is my target. Okay, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So, you're not going to be buying Lambos? Oh, well, okay. So, having said that, Charlie's looking pretty good. And it's interesting, too, because Charlie even said, by my next birthday, I expect Litecoin to be at all-time highs. So, you're getting basically the tell from Mr. Charlie himself. And interestingly enough, fog and bombs and all that kind of stuff, it's not out of the question. Not out of the question at all. So, anyway, great example of various different traders. There's no one right way to manage your money. The right way is, most importantly, is what actually works for you. And that's tough. Okay, let's see what we got here. You want the crap last? Rocker, you really want me to go down that road? All right, fine. I'll show you one idea that I actually really like down here because I got to know the guys when I was first introduced to this space, and I like them. Actually, I'm going to show you two ideas. Sorry. When's his birthday? DJ 2000, we're going to have to give you that as an assignment to do some work. So, Digi, this was one of my favorites from years gone by. Again, it's a trader's life. I mean, you don't know what the fuck's going to happen in this world. You just don't know. Glad you are doing the chart. Too many YouTube channels based on fundamentals, no technical analysis. Well, and also too, Maddie, are they really doing fundamental analysis on Bitcoin and shit right now? The irony of it all is fundamentally, there's fundamental analysis on Bitcoin. So this is actually, what I'm hearing a lot of people is they're starting to talk about sentiment. They're talking about money flows into and out of this asset. And for some fucking reason, they're calling it fundamental analysis. That's not fundamental analysis. But then half of the people in this space, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about anyway. It drives you crazy. That's called quantitative analysis. It's sentiment driven. It's, like a guy at MicroStrategies who said, I just went and put 150 million into Bitcoin. That's not telling you anything about value. So, ironically enough, you know what the best business is? By the way, Brian, who won the course giveaway? I don't think we've done it yet. Should I shut the hell up and just get on with the raffle here and wind this up? I'm just blabbing away. Shane, I really wanted to get to fundamental analysis here today, but these guys don't want to talk fundamentals. Sorry, bud. I tried. Is Shane still here? This is one of our TRI OGs. Oh, Shane, are you going? Oh, that sucks. Anyway, one of my TRI OGs, who's an incredibly smart gentleman. He actually built indicators on TradingView to try and help you understand the cost of production. And if I was going to make an argument, and what kills me, do you notice that nobody on CNBC ever talks about the cost of production? These fuckers. And it just pisses you off. These people are not helping you. Man, it makes you so angry. Quick, Google says birthday April 13th. Well, for Charlie? Maybe we're talking about the Litecoin's birthday. Anyway, it's somewhere around October. He said that he expected Litecoin to be at all-time highs. You're probably just bullshitting me, eh? You never did the Google search. You just see if I just give you the answer real quick. Just kidding. Anyway, so, ironically enough, looking at this image, I actually think the best thing to do is go into the business and mine some fucking Bitcoins. I mean, that's easy profits, isn't it? Isn't it? Oh, there you go. So, look at that. You guys are all, anyway, go find the tweet, right? The tweet's what I'm talking about here. Who said that? DJ2000 and all you guys over on YouTube. I'm referring to the tweet. So whatever the hell the damn tweet reference date is. So I might be interested in actually going into the actual Bitcoin mining business. That if I wanted to make some killer dough right now, this is a no-brainer. So anyway, go figure. Back in the spring, we had a situation where a cost of production and the reload zones lined up nicely, which is like, ooh, that's rational investing. Hey, I like that window. And the problem, of course, Goldman Sachs and all them, they're just bidding the fuck out of this thing up here. They know that. They don't want to make this nice and easy for everybody. They want to make this as difficult and as painful as possible. Remember this shit? You all went through it. So, interesting if you draw like reload zones. Notice that this thing bottom. Remember I told you that little hint about 78.6s and 88.6s? Right, if we do there to there, notice, look at that. Doink, 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 doink. So, there's 88.6 sitting basically right at the S17 mining cost. There's S19. I wouldn't be surprised by the time we actually get down into here. These little guys are working their way up, and you just see a nice confluence exactly like this going forward. And so if you really want to invest, fundamentals, value, right? There's your level. And as I said, this will march higher as we go over time. It's a great tool. That's what she said. And he, because what the hell? Nothing like, how's it go? It's not nothing, there's not wrong with that. How does that line go again? Not that there's anything wrong with that. Anyway. Okay. Enough rant, enough banter. I showed you a little Digi. Cute little Digi. Digi looks so sexy in here. I love these sentimental names. Beautiful W's. What's kind of cool is Digi's even trying to put in nice little W's within W's against Bitcoin. Hopefully you can see the reload zone. Probably nice divergences coming in here on momentum. It's just sitting there. You all saw what Doge did. Doge is a great example. Try and learn from this, everybody. If you ever have, a social media influencer come out and tout an idea. See if I can find the damn chart. Oh, I got it around here somewhere. Maybe it's over here. Yeah, here it is. You could totally fucking own him. No BSV. Well, because I don't like the guy. He drives me nuts. If he was a nice guy, I would be like, fucking A. But he's an asshole. Sorry, that's my opinion. I've been in this space since 2013. Every fucking time I interact with a guy, he's a total dick. So, I don't know. I'm sorry. I know you want me. All right, just to placate you. But I can tell you, I wouldn't be interested in buying this guy. Remember, remember half this shit is a confidence game, right? What is it? BSV? So you're trying to get me to invest in a confidence story, and I have no confidence in the guy? That's a potion for disaster. Where do we want to look at this? What exchange? I suppose this is a good example. Squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? Leica, talk to me here, buddy. You got my attention. Just ask yourself, how many exchanges does BSV trade on? Yeah, well, that's a good point, eh? They're kind of, yeah. What's Bing Bong? I don't even know what the fuck that is. I've never seen that before. Bing Bong? KuCoin! Let's head on over to Korea. Hey, isn't that funny? It's still on Trex, of all places. I would have thought they would have kicked it off of there. Anyway, where do you want to look at this? Link or Ocean would be better to look at. I like Link. Link got its ass kicked here recently, eh? Yeah, I love that UBT. UBT looks good in here, but I wonder what the hell happened to his energy webs. Where's that damn webs? Like, were these his? I like that Unibright. That Unibright looks good, eh? Look at that. Holding in like a rock star. That's versus USD. All right. It's not bad. Been trying to buy some of this steak. Got 2 more bids working, so hopefully I can get some of that. Dash, poor old Dash. Hey, here's a great example. You go to war with the regulators. You say things like, we're going to promote people having the ability to skirt authority and dodge taxes. That's often what can happen. I'd be very careful of the anonymous coins. They look like they're in big trouble here. We'll see how that goes. Of course, remember, I don't take too much risk on any of this shit, so it's not really like it's that big of a deal to me. But if I was in this Doge story, I'd be if I was in size, I'd be rather concerned right now. Or what did I say? Not Doge, Dash. Doge, Doge is being promoted by Mr. Tesla right now. So you got the Tesla army behind you on Doge. You're probably good to go. Where the hell did Doge go? There he is. Yeah. So this is a good example. And what's really weird about this is actually, you see TradingView here shows this Doge versus Bitcoin on Trex. And yet you go over to actual Trex itself. And you see that there's actually a big old price gap on the charts. And I'm not quite sure why. TradingView took it away. Actually, there was a gap right here, and then TradingView decided to get rid of the gap, which is a bit suspicious. This whole damn space is fucking crooked as hell anyway. But, if you want to, killer trader, learn how to trade, be a monster trader, right? They actually left a gap right there. And I even put tweets out and stuff. This is where, who promoted. And I said, well, just work your border at the gap. And he'll get filled nicely there. And it turns out, and actually interesting how Trex, even like I said, they took this gap away. Hey, what the fuck? I mean, they actually got rid of the gap. That's not really fair to the public. Anyway. One thing I don't like about this is this guy, this totally smacks of Barnum and Bailey. His tweet was, in a word, Doge. And in a word, if you had bought that, the next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, you got doged. Right? I mean, if you bought here in the 20s, you had to see the thing trade all the way back down to 15 ticks. Or, sats or whatever. That's like a 50% haircut, isn't it? So, just because some guy goes on social media and touts something, that doesn't mean it's a blind deal. I mean, the fact that we happen to be patient and disciplined and understand gaps and all that kind of fun stuff, it gave us a fun treat. And the kids on this site, man, it was so cool waking up, seeing everybody, oh, I got a double on Doge, look at me. And just imagine this, right? You buy the Doge with the Bitcoin, that's like 15 grand or whatever. You sell at a double, you just doubled your Doges. And you get to sell your Bitcoin at 30 grand. What a fucking treat. This is the number one reason why you like trading altcoins. Everybody hates altcoins when they're going down versus Bitcoin. When they're going up versus Bitcoin, you all love them. Oh, well, crazy world. So, this is the kind of stuff that we teach at TRI. This is the kind of stuff that I would like to see more people in the public doing. And for God's sakes, I sure hope people rang the register. That is a very cliche, very normal 50% retracement, WD GAN up the butt. And of course, all the people that were in the doghouse when they bought this pump, they're like, oh fuck, thank God, get me the hell out of there. And if you miss that opportunity, this son of a bitch might come right back down to the bottom again. So just be prepared. Okay, so that BSV, just a quick comment here. I mean, honestly, I probably wouldn't be participating because I don't really like the gentleman, but that's just, that's more personality than anything else. Remember, this is your money. I mean, hell, if anything, you should have the right to decide what the hell you're going to do with your money. Looking at the chart, weekly price chart, kind of caught between no man's land, and a lot of these kind of coins look like this. So if you are a BSV fan and maybe you see the sort of the vision, right? Satoshi's vision, then okay, throw yourself on a dollar cost averaging plan. I mean, you can see there is a W that's working off of here. And this guy's notorious for pulling rabbits out of his ass. So whoever it was over on YouTube who was asking about this, yeah, that's right. Shorting ETH? No, I wouldn't short any of this shit, people. Don't. You're asking for trouble. Unless you're like, 30-minute chart like I talked about with the Bitcoin chart earlier there. Unless you're at that level, which frankly speaking, most of you people on YouTube are not. I don't think you got any business stepping in on the short side here. What up, 5? That's just my feeling. So there you go. Okay, so, you want to dollar cost average? Okay, fine. A trade per se? It's sort of sitting middle of the road. I guess the question I would have is, with Ethereum, with Bitcoin, with Litecoin, more senior names rocking and rolling, what's the story here? What's he doing? Is he actually up to anything? Because usually assets rally because somebody knows somebody's doing something. So what's your story, Morning Glory? You want to come in here and you want to trade this? You're like, hey, Brian, I like W's. It's in a reload zone. Fuck you. It's my money. Okay, I'm not going to fight you on it. Remember, half of what I say here is this something that I would put my money in? Versus, yeah, you should go and do that with your money, right? That's a lot of this kind of conversation. So, maybe you see all these lows and you're kind of like, you know what? I like the idea of taking a shot against these lows. It's not an insane idea. If we do break these lows, then you're probably best just to get the hell out of there. Big momentum pushes. MACD's kind of OBV. I mean, you'd really like to see bigger green volume bars here. It's trying to W out. Maybe that'll be like the Litecoin. Can we start putting in some serious chunky bars? If we can, then we're probably good to go. Right now, I get the feeling that we got through year end and there was a shitload of venture capital money just sitting there waiting to come steamrolling into these names. that they just had to get into the new calendar year. So a lot of these altcoins, like I put out a tweet today about Sis, and that's the name that I wanted to show you. I like these Sis guys. They're kind of like the Ubic guys. They're not really first tier. They're not really getting a lot of sexy attention in the market right now. Where the hell did I put those damn charts? Kind of like Digi, same sort of thing. This is Ubic versus Bitcoin, same kind of thing. I mean, right down at the bottom end of the range, they're just giving this shit away. Oh, hello, look at this little vet. Remember, we were watching this vet all through the fall. Same sort of thing. Look at the fight going on at this bottom here. You can see it W'd, then it M'd, and now they're W'ing it again. What a surprise. And gee whiz, look where that's going to come in, right between 88.6 and 78.6. What a surprise. So, you can see this shit. It's developing. Had you said, okay, I'm a trader, I'm going to trade this W, well, you probably just got stopped out. And then, in very typical venture cap fashion, they're going to put a W right off this level, and that'll be the rally. That happens a lot in this space. I don't know whether you guys really are prepared for life of a trader. Part of our education program, we say, look, if you don't want to get into this, you're getting stopped out. Well, that's that sort of nanny nibbles. I'm going to take a very small portion of my portfolio, just go and buy at or below reload zones, dollar cost averaging. Then you don't even have to worry about getting stopped out. But most important rule there is do not put more than 5% of whatever you got to work with at risk in any one idea. Once you hit that 5% rule, you got to say I'm loaded up. There ain't any more buying I can do. All right. Woo, look at Ethereum go. Yeah. To me, it seems like pretty dangerous stuff stepping in front of this right here. And like shorting. Love the idea of people forcing themselves to pay themselves through this. Pretty dangerous to call a top here, guys. Yeah. And of course, Julian, he probably just shit his pants again because he's long a whole shitload of Ethereum. So, way to go, Julian! Okay, let's see. It's 20 to the top of the hour. I can feel my voice is kind of giving out here. So, I think, why don't we head on over to Raffle Land, and let's see who the big winner of our Q1 2021 raffle will be.
I think I'm gonna have to share my screen again.
All right, you bastard. Here. Fine. Oh, look at that. We zipped all the way down here, right? Huh, look at that craziness all over the place. Okay, let's see. Kevin's got the screen. This is so cool, man. Check this out. Look at all of you that decided to enter the raffle. You can't even see the names. There's so many of you. I can't believe that. If anything, that's a great sign. It shows there are some people that actually would like to get educated. Let's see. How can I do this? I got to click on this one here. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, Kevin's got the wheel on the screen. Good luck to everybody. And of course, in the coming week, once we've done the draw, if you didn't win, maybe you might win, you might not, who knows. Consider the promotion that Julian and David have put together. So, without further ado, what do you think, sir? You want to give this thing a spin? Let's see who our big winner is. We'll even do a drum roll. Ready? Here we go. Q1 2021 level 1 travel. The winner is Hot Nick KZ. Woohoo!
Hot Nicks.
Hot Nick. Hot Nick, get off your butt. You are now my tool. That doesn't sound very good. Careful what you wish for in this world. These contest winners, I have extra expectations of you. Yeah, bro, you didn't win, but what the hell? We'll keep our fingers crossed for next raffle for you. But congratulations to Hot Nix KZ. We'll be reaching out to you, and by all means, if you're watching this and you're like, "Holy shit, I won!" Well, Brewer's on suicide alert. Oh, hang in there. We should probably give the guy a break. Eh? All right, he's on the 30-day trial, so at least we got him going in the daily briefs now. So, hey, we're making positive, right?
And also, I'll add the link in the YouTube comments right now to the order form for the school and the deal that's running this week.
Well, I appreciate that, sir. And thank you so much, Kevin. I couldn't do any of this shit without his awesome assistance. Okay, so we've been blabbing away for about an hour and a half, 2 hours here. Hope you got some value and I gave you some levels to consider. Of course, no guarantees in any of this. Remember, I only talk about what I'm going to do with my money. I don't really talk about what I would recommend you do with your money because, frankly speaking, we're not in the business of giving any recommendations here. I would ideally love to teach you the process. If you would like to come to TRI and learn the process, then you can make these educated decisions on your own. And just like Kevin here, who started about 2 or 3 years ago with me, Peter over there on YouTube. I think Peter were you a contest winner? I think he was. I can't remember. David O was a contest winner. I think who was our winner? Wasn't it Dina? I think I remember her last term. Anyway, great way to really get yourself going in a really great direction because we're heading into like a 15-year bull market. We got to get through the fear cycle, apex. We got to get through all this political uncertainty. We got to get through COVID and all that. But once we're on the other side of that, I don't know whether you guys are ready. I mean, get ready to grow. All right. If anything, your crypto, the way prices are jumping up, that's probably a good tell about what to expect in the future. So, okay, so Hot Nix KZ, congratulations. Thank you so much, Kevin, for your awesome assistance. PMA for the win. Let's hope Mr. Smiley Face here hasn't totally pooped on Bitcoin and we have another leg or two higher here. You never know in this crazy game, though. I wouldn't get into the business of actually predicting what's going to happen here. Just roll with the punches. And ironically enough, the easy trade right now is just spoon feeding the market coin as they take it higher. Right? I might as well make this game as easy as possible on you. Okay, think I'm going to leave the rant at that. Sure hope you guys enjoyed the offering. Have yourselves an awesome rest of your day. PMA for the win. Bitcoin $1 million by next week. Sure, why not? All right, everybody. All the best. Thank you, Kevin, for your assistance. The only thing left for Brian to say at this point is a big congratulations to Nick, and bye for now.